This morning, we want to look at how the rich start their day versus how the poor start their day. How the rich start their day versus how the poor start their day. What I want to do here is I want to bring to your notice how the best way you can start your day. Maybe you have been starting your day the way the poor are starting their own. By the time I'm done this morning, you are going to start starting your day just the same way the rich are starting their day. This is a habit-based comparison and it is not about destiny. Now, let's go to how the rich start their day and how the poor start their day. The rich wake up intentionally. When they wake up in the morning, they are intentional about their waking up. Whereas the poor, they wake up late or they wake up rushed. The rich wake up early and intentionally. The poor, they wake up rushed, and then as they rush up, they rush out to take their bath and they start running to where they're going. But the rich wake up early and do one or two things and prepare adequately and get ready before they set out. Number two thing I want to look at is that the rich, they wake up with a purpose. They have purpose and they have plans and they have priorities. The rich have what they want to achieve for the day. They're not just going about the day anyhow, but they have what they are set out to do for that day. But in the case of the poor, it is not that way. The poor wake up without a plan, without a goal, without any aspiration. You just want to go about life the way they have gone about it the previous day. Whereas in the case of the rich, they want to do something better than what they have done before. And at the end of the day, they actually get something better out of life and out of the day. Now, let's look at the third thing, which is that the first one is wake up time, the second one is focus, the third one is about morning mindset. The rich, they have, they said, what will I build or improve today? That is what comes to their mind in the morning. They are looking and thinking about what they can build. They are thinking about the development they can bring about. They are thinking about how they can help this, how they can do this. They are thinking about what they can do to affect the day, to make the day a more productive day for themselves and for everyone around them. But the poor has a different way to do their own thing. Then how does the poor do it? What the poor does is what the poor does is that instead of focusing on purpose, plans, and priorities, the poor focus on their problems. They are looking at, oh, they have problem, they have this problem, they have that problem. They focus on problems. The poor focus on stress. The poor focus on survival. They are thinking of how do we survive. They are not thinking about any other thing, just how they are going to survive. Then another thing there is the morning mindset. The rich has this mindset and they said, what will I do today? I've said that before. Why the poor is, what the rich is saying, what will I build or improve today? The poor is saying, what must I struggle through today? The poor is thinking of the struggles of the day, what they want to struggle, whereas the rich is saying they want to improve. Then about phone usage, how does the poor and the house of the rich use their phone? The rich avoid phone initially or check the phone selectively. But in the case of the poor, they scroll social media immediately and endlessly. Now, another thing that the rich does, how the rich start their day versus how the poor start their day. Another thing is, apart from phone usage, is information intake. The rich read, they learn, they reflect in the morning before they set out. But in the case of the poor, they consume gossip and they consume entertainment, whereas the rich consume motivation. They go after motivational things that can help them and make them to start running for the day. Now, talking about physical health, the rich exercise, they stretch or they walk. In the case of the poor, there's no movement or they are sedentary. That is how they start. They start in a sedentary manner. Now, let's move on to the next one, which is talking about meditation. In talking about meditation, the mental health, the rich meditate, they think about the past, they think about the present, they think about the future, they think about possibilities. Then the rich pray. Then the rich journal. They write down, okay, this is the 5 things I want to do today. The journal, this is what I did yesterday that I shouldn't have done. But in the case of the poor, they have anxiety-driven thinking. They're just thinking, but the thinking is based on anxiety, what they are anxious about. Now, still talking about how the rich and the poor start their day in the planning. The rich review goals and they schedule. They review their goals and then they schedule. They say, okay, this is what I'm going to do for this day. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to achieve. That is what the rich does. But in the case of the poor, they do not schedule. What does the poor do? They react to events as they come. They don't plan for events. The poor don't plan for events, whereas the rich plan for events that will come in a day. The poor only react. So the rich are proactive while the poor are reactive. Now, talking about the food they eat or the type of food that they eat. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the love. I appreciate that. Talking about the kind of food they eat. Thank you for the like. Please share and subscribe and stay with me to the end. Talking about nutrition and the food. The rich they have intentional breakfast or fasting. Intentional breakfast or fasting, that is for the rich. But in the case of the poor, they consume sugary or random eating. They consume sugar. Early in the morning, they start consuming sugar or they just eat randomly. Even their feeding has no plan. For the rich, they have a culture of learning. So they invest in skill or knowledge early. That is the rich. They invest in skill or knowledge early. But for the poor, they have no time for learning. And you see, many great men that you have met, you have read about, they will tell us that they read this in a book, they saw this in a book, they learned this from a book. Now, if you want to achieve anything, you should be reading the books of successful people that show you how they do it, how they do it, how they do it, and then you follow the process that they used to do it, and then you also will succeed. So the poor had no reading habit or no learning habit, but the rich has a learning habit. And you see some things that the rich do, they learn it from what they have been able to read in books. So that is it. So I can see Ebrukotu 2214 saying hi Ebrukotu. Thank you for your time. Thank you for stopping by. And I believe that you are going to take and go with the rich mindset, with the wealthy mindset, and not with the poor mindset. Now, talking about money thinking. The rich or the wealthy think about assets. They think about leverage. They think about growth. Whereas the poor, on their own, they think about bills and expenses. The poor is always thinking about bills and expenses, while the rich are thinking about assets, growth, and leverage. Now, Ebrukotu say, where are you from? I am from Nigeria. I'm from Nigeria precisely. Let me know where you are joining from in the chat section below. So we're talking about money thinking. I've said it already that the rich think about assets. They think about leverage. They think about growth. They think about how they can use their connections to build up their capacity. Whereas the poor are not thinking that way. Think of bills and expenses. Then talking about time control. The rich own their time, whereas the poor don't own their time. The rich own the morning. The poor, in the case of the poor, the morning owns them. They don't have plan for the morning. Whatever the morning talk about is what they want to do. Yeah. Ebrukoto said he said, I'm from Turkey. Wow, you're Turkey, that's good. And they said, do you like Turkey? Yes, I like the people of Turkey. They are good people. I am from Nigeria, and Turkey is a great country also. So thank you very much for your time. If you have any question or for me or comment, you can drop in the chat box. And if you are joining, tell me in the comment section where you are joining from, and I'm going to read out your comment. Now, talking about environment. The environment of the rich is calm and structured, while the environment of the poor is chaotic and is noisy. They don't have arrangement. They just throw things all around. That's the poor. But the rich arrange things. They take time to arrange things. So when they don't want to pick anything, take up anything, they know where it is. They just go and pick it. When after using, they just put it back where it should be. They have every section for everything in their home. Now, talking about self-talk, the rich talk to themselves with they talk empowering talk to themselves. They talk to themselves that this is a good day. I'm going to make it today. My business is going to succeed today, and many other things like that. So they talk about they talk empowering self-talk to themselves, solution focus. They are solution focused. They say, wow, this is a great day. This is a day. They give themselves, they hype themselves. And this hype, this hype helps their cognitive to be able to project and it drives it to be able to drive them also. But in the case of the poor, their self-talks are limiting and it's complaint focused. They always complain. The poor always complain. If they don't complain about this, they complain about other things. Then, in terms of long-term view, the rich they connect to a bigger vision. The rich connect to a bigger vision. But in the case of the poor, they is about immediate survival. The poor is looking for immediate survival, whereas the rich are looking for long-term survival. So these are some of the differences between the poor and the rich. So it is not about being rich or poor. It's about rich habits versus poor habits. Many wealthy people started poor, but they changed how they started their day before their bank account changed. So in starting your day, there are ways you should start your day, and you should start your day in a rich way. The morning is a vote for the future that you want. So in the morning is when you start thinking and start planning that this is what I want to achieve today. Start telling yourself positive self-talk, your environment, everything intact. You wake up early with a purpose, with a dream, not wake up anytime and rushing out. If you don't design your morning, life will design it for you. And what life will design for you may not be what you actually want life to design for you. So you design your morning, wake up in the morning and design it, and tell the morning, and move the morning, and plan the morning. And because the morning will determine what will happen in the afternoon, and the afternoon will determine what will happen in the night. And that will determine what will happen the whole day. And then the following day also, you plan the morning. And that is how it goes. You keep dominating and taking charge of your morning and of your day. And before you know it, you take charge of your morning, take charge of your day, take charge of your week, take charge of your month, take charge of the year, and then you take charge of your life. The life is going to go in the direction that you want it to go to. Rich people win the day before 9 a.m. So before 9 a.m., rich people have achieved a lot of things. Personally, when I want to do a very important work, a very important task I have at hand, I wake up in the morning at sometimes 7 a.m., sometimes 6 a.m., and I hit my office and I start working from that time. Between that time and 8 a.m. and 9 a.m., when others start coming, I've already achieved what I want to achieve for the day. Before you get to the office by 8 a.m., you settle down, you exchange pleasantries with this and that. Before you know it, time has gone. People start coming to see you, start talking to you. You don't have time to devote that energy to what you want to do. Then early in the morning when you just wake up, the brain is fresh. So that will give you capacity to tell the brain the direction it should go. Poverty is not just lack of money, it is a lack of structure. So the rich has structure. The rich have their own structure and they go and they follow the structure to the end. So I'll show you the column where the rich are, show you the column what the poor does, which column describes your morning or describe your day. Please, I want you to change your habit. If you have been planning your day and working on your day as a poor person, the way the poor people do, you should change it from today and start working and making sure that your day is followed and is actualized and it follows as a plan just like the rich do. My name is Dr. Lumigade Titun, and this is just to encourage you, showing you how the rich start their day versus how the poor start their day, so that you can start your day the way the rich start their day. I'm going to end this live stream right now. After now, I'm coming back to talk to you about positive self-talk that the poor use for the day and for their life. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.